Welcome to GKey Solutions Private Limited.
SQL Server Integration Services, Classes and Real-Time Interview Questions and Answers. Part 31. What is ForEach Loop Container and ForEach File Enumerator in SSIS? In this part of training, we are going to discuss about what is ForEach Loop Container and ForEach File Enumerator in SSIS. A ForEach Loop Container in SSIS, that is SQL Server Integration Services, is a control flow container used to repeat execution of tasks for each item in a collection, such as files in a folder, rows in a record set, or objects in an array. It is similar to the ForEach loop in programming languages like C# or Python. Common enumerator types are ForEach File Enumerator. It loops through files in a folder, commonly used for file processing. ForEach Loop Item Enumerator. It loops through a fixed list of values you define manually. And next one is ForEach Addo Enumerator. It loops through rows in a Addo record set, that is data set from a query. And next is ForEach Variable Enumerator. Loops through a collection stored in a SSIS variable. And last one would be ForEach SMO Enumerator. Loops through SQL Server management objects such as databases or tables. Let us discuss about ForEach File Enumerator. The ForEach File Enumerator in SSIS, that is SQL Server Integration Services, is a type of ForEach Loop Enumerator that allows you to loop through files in a specified folder and perform actions on each file one by one. It is commonly used when you need to process multiple files, such as importing, moving, or renaming in an automated ETL workflow. The purpose of this ForEach File Enumerator is used to iterate through all files or a specific type of files in a given directory, so that task inside the ForEach Loop container executes once for each file. Let us see this ForEach File Enumerator practically in SSIS. Now we are in SSIS. I have created a package here and renaming it as ForEach File Enumerator. To work with ForEach File Enumerator, we should have a bunch of files at a particular location. Here, based on previous class, here we are having 10 set of CSV files. We loop through all these files and load the data into the target table by using ForEach File Enumerator in a package. Here I am trying to take ForEach Loop Container. If you open the ForEach Loop Container, you will be seeing general. In collections, you will see different enumerators here. ForEach File Enumerator, ForEach Item Enumerator, Addo Enumerator, Addo.NET Schema Row Set Enumerator. Like this, we are having this many enumerators in ForEach File Container, and this is variable mapping part, and here we can write the expressions. And I'll come to this part once we configure the sources and destination. For that, I'm taking data flow task inside to the ForEach Loop Container. I'm opening it here. What I'm trying to do is, I'll be taking sources as a file system, that is flat file source. Why? Because we have to loop through all the files and we have to load these files into our destination, that is to SQL Server database. For that, I'm taking OLEDB destination component. Here I'm connecting these two components and trying to configure the flat file source now. Here I'm trying to make a connection. Like connection manager, I'm trying to do here. I'm browsing a file. For our convenience, first I'm taking CSV and column names in the first data row, and this is the data in the first file, and I'm trying to configure the destination itself. In this database, and GKey Solutions is the server, demo at GKey is the database. Here I am trying to create a table. Instead of taking the table from the drop down, I am trying to create a table by using this component. Here I am renaming this table as ForEach File Enumerator. This is the target table that we are going to load, and I'm going for the mapping. Mappings are fine now. Here what I have to do is I have to make the flat file connection dynamic. For that we have to go to expressions. Here in connection string I have to make changes for this variable. Before that, to get into the variables, we have to create a variable. I'm just trying to create a variable here. It is like folder path. I'm making it as a string, and D files customer 1.csv is the first file name. I'm just assigning a single file name here. Now we are trying to make the flat file connection dynamic. For that we are going for the expressions. Here connection string. In that connection string I'm trying to take this folder path variable. Let us evaluate this one. We are getting D files customer1.csv is the thing. Here we have created a variable. Let us go to the ForEach file enumerator. I'm opening the ForEach loop container now. Here coming to the collection, I'm taking ForEach file enumerator. Here we have to browse the folder. For that it is in D folder. Files is the folder that I'm going through. Here I would like to iterate through all the CSV files. Star means whatever the name before this CSV, we'll iterate through all the files in this particular folder. If you want to traverse through all the folders, you can mark this traverse to subfolder. That means if you have any subfolder over here, it will just traverse through those subfolders and it will get .csv files from subfolders itself also. If you mark this one, it will get into the subfolders. Right now we do not need that one. We are just having 10 files in a particular folder. That this is the folder name, and CSV files we want to iterate through. And coming to the variable mappings, this is the variable of folder path that we are going to take. We have made this file dynamic. Every time the loop is going to get into the first file in the collection. First it will get into the first file, and that value is going to be assigned to this variable, and that will get into the flat file connection expression. The first file is going to read. In the next iteration, it will going to get the second CSV file, and it will give to the parameter. The flat file is dynamic. Now the file name is changed to customer2, something like that. It will iterate through all CSV files by using ForEach Loop Container. Here it will loop through all the files in a particular folder, and those files are going to be loaded in the target table. The target table that we have assigned here is ForEach. The table that we have created here is ForEach file enumerator. And I'm trying to execute this package now. The package is iterating through all 10 files now. Now the package is successful. Let us check the data in the target. We are in the same database. ForEach loop file enumerator. ForEach file enumerator is the table name that we have created. I'm just trying to check the data. See, now all the 10 files data has been inserted from a location which is D files, and these 10 files has been loaded into the database. In this way, we can use for each file enumerator in ForEach Loop Container to loop through different files in a particular folder, or we can traverse through different folders and we can load the data to the target. This is how we can work with ForEach file enumerator.
Stay connected with GKey IT solutions on all your favorite platforms. Follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest content. Join the GKey community and grow your IT career with us.